Guys, I am very excited for today. I'm very excited for today. This is going to be awesome. We got 56 of us on right now, and I have never done this part live. I've done it on stage as far as certain aspects of it, but actually building out a webinar script live, I've never done it. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I assume the entire day. And when I say the entire day, I mean like a long time. It takes a long time and a full day for me just to do it on my own, much less teach it as I'm doing it. So anyways, I'm excited. Thank you for going in and answering the prompt here, which was how many have you guys have done a webinar? So I just want to see real quick how many you guys have. Got a lot of people on. Going live, morning baby, yeah. What's up guys? Casey, Ben, Sachin, let's see, agency style, fun about the traffic fellas, haven't started orchestrating correctly. It's all good. Casey said, I've done Facebook Lives before, not that incredible. It's alright, we all start somewhere. In the process of finishing it, working on my two auto webinars right now. It's from Manny. Sharon said, Pajama Grandma. How's it going, Sharon? I struggle the most with picking graphics and making it look good. It's the least important part, but we'll definitely go through that. Oh, you just saw Weezer last night? No way. They're one of the bucket list bands I really want to see. That's one of my favorite albums. Funny enough, when I got to ClickFunnels, that's what Russell was playing. I was like, oh, what? No, Africa? I don't know what you're asking, David. Sorry. I don't care about that, Orlando. What's up, Orlando? Hey, Steve Good, my buddy and I have been doing a webinar week since May. Seems to be successful with plenty of bumps along the way. I'm going to change things up now to train things for all you do. Dave said, although I prefer original, it's a pretty decent remake. Oh, gotcha. I got to widen this out again here. Samantha, how's it going? Haven't done a webinar yet. A week from today, going to do my first. Awesome. It's one of my favorite strategies. Sam said excited to be here. Missed the first three, but I ain't gonna miss this one. Awesome. Larson walkthroughs. What playlist is this? It's just Weezer tracks. A lot of you guys have been asking what music tracks to listen to. I have a playlist for when I brainstorm, a playlist for when I am just trying to build stuff, a playlist for when I just need to get myself psyched. My pre-stage list, that's one of my favorite playlists. A lifting one. I don't know if this is a dumb question, but I assume Zoom lets you share the presentation in PowerPoint and InDesign while you talk. 100%, yep. I don't hear anything. Music. Started doing webinar one a month. Currently on version 6. Tested out many things. Cool. Hopefully this helps a lot. We got to walk through a few recap things before we can get started today too. Adrian's here, which is awesome. Perfect time to see me showing this. use the chat, or I don't see. I do. I use the chat. I don't see my comments. Oh, okay. Let me make sure you guys can all see each other's. Yeah, you should be able to see each other's stuff. Welcome, yo. Orlando said, I'm about to speak on stage for the first time in a few weeks, selling a service to a bunch of B2B and planning on using it for webinar script. Yeah, webinar script on stage is killer. I've done it many times. It's a lot of fun. For the difference for doing it live, increase your prices. Have a table at every door. Do not use an alternative to paper forms. Just because we use the internet now doesn't mean people should sit in their seats. There's a stage rush. There's a we call it a table rush feeling, this hyper feeling that happens in events in Orlando. It will kill it dramatically, and your sales will like just be so much smaller. Hey, thanks, John. How's it going, Billy? Super pumped. How's it going, Brent? Christy, good morning. Michael, Larissa, never did a webinar. Buckle up. If you can pull a webinar off, you can pull anything off. Last time I built a tool, long time. Boom. Everyone wants in French. Woot! I've done quite a few over the last few years. Billy, see. I haven't done a webinar so far from Grant. Albert, will start writing mine after today. Awesome. Just did one last night. That's cool, Billy. Cool. Should go. It'll be awesome. We've been chatting about it. Next year's going to be really cool. It made me buy. Woo! That's good. Okay, guys, we are going to dive into this. Do we really have to get approved? For what? Do we have to get approved to go to Dream? Oh, I don't know. That's Grant Cardone's event. I don't know what he's doing. Probably. Okay. You got your Red Bulls? Okay, check this out. Here is how this game works, okay? Again, I'm just making sure we're set. Got screen recording rocking, which I think we do. All right, so when I first started teaching this stuff, it was about 2 years ago, and I was the only coach for 675 students to learn webinars. Funnels. Like, if you get the webinar down, you take the strategies and content when it comes to sales and you push that into the rest of the funnel types, and it's like, oh my gosh, this got a lot easier. Okay, so I brought the first 600 students through, right, and learned a lot on the ways to teach this. Okay, I learned a ton, and the program was 15 grand, and was another 5 if you wanted to bring a partner in. And they came for eight weeks through a program that I developed, and so it actually put me in the 2 Comma Club. We did $1 million on that thing in 3 weeks. It's crazy. Okay, and how did we sell it? With a webinar, right? Right, a webinar selling a course on how to do webinars is really awesome. So, I did that for about the first year, and every Friday for about 4 hours, I would go and do live Q&A. And so, anyway, it's super powerful. When we decided, right, and then we kept selling it and selling it and selling it. When we decided that we would open it back up, I kept telling Russell, I was like, dude, we got to revamp a few aspects of this thing. And he agreed. We were looking through it, and he's like, yeah, let's change this. And I was like, let's change that, back and forth. And we adapted it, and we switched it around. And then he sold it at this last Funnel Hacking Live event, which if you do not go to Funnel Hacking Live, like, there is no other catalyst for success I could ever imagine you going to. I hate events that are pump-up sessions. And what marketing actually was, right? The first day alone, right? The first half day, I learned more in that first half day than the rest of my marketing degree combined, right? That very first event I went to. That's the one I actually met Russell face to face, got job invites there 5 times, and then eventually 1 week later was sitting next to the guy. And anyway, so go to Funnel Hacking Live. It's not, for me, it is not an option, okay? You might say, like, duh, Steven, you're kind of an icon in it. Like, okay, sure. But, like, even if I wasn't, okay, I would go into debt to get there. There's never, anyway, such cutting edge information, but presented in such a simple manner, that's not normal. And anyway, so go to Funnel Hacking Live. GrowthCon, awesome too, super good. Slightly more, I learned a lot of sales tactics from Grant Cardone. A lot of really cool success stories out there. So anyway, just know that as I build this out, the first thing we go do before I start actually building this, I need you to know, like, I'm gonna walk back through a little bit of what's already been done, because everything we've done up to this point, the sales message and the offer, and I went straight into designing the funnel and building the funnel. That's not bad, but I would do what I'm doing right here second. I would do it right after I've designed the actual marketing pieces and the offer itself, okay? And I wouldn't worry about the funnel hardly at all, okay? It's not like the stuff that makes it tick. So I'm here to help you guys understand what makes it tick. Now, webinars can be crazy confusing. They could be, the script itself could be kind of nuts. And so, how many of you guys have this? Okay, this sits on my wall, right over there. I pin it to the wall. Do you guys have this at all though? This thing, right? Yep, you guys have it. Okay, Willie does. Sagen doesn't. No. Okay, Albert does. Okay, right. This is the perfect webinar. The perfect webinar script. Now, the perfect webinar script is called the perfect webinar script because he was like, the guy starts pitching and he's like, "This is so freaking awkward. Are you kidding me? I don't want to do that." He said, "Wait, let me take a pic. Don't worry, man. We're gonna dive into everything." You can get that for free too, by the way, if you go to perfectwebinarscript.com. So, I think that's what it's called. Perfect Webinar Script. Perfect Webinar Secrets. Just look it up. It's all over the place. Yeah, right. Exactly. Just Google it. Anyway, so he was sitting in this event, and all of a sudden, like this guy closes, and all these people. He counted 40 people going to the back. I learned more about the product. I sold less. Okay, way less. I mean, like I was selling 2 or 3 a day down to 2 or 3 a week. Okay, and it's because, and I didn't understand why for the longest time. So the first half of the summer, I was banking. I was like, "This is epic. Oh my gosh, I'm killing this. I'm killing this." Right? And then suddenly, after a while, like I was like, "Why can't I get any more sales?" And I started learning more about the product. I started learning more about the different chemical compounds. I was selling pest control, right? I started learning more about the way different bugs react. Garbage about ants. They just want them gone, right? And I would sit there and I would sell and sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. But really, what I was doing was talking and educating and educating and educating and educating. And the thing that will kill your sales, all sales, regardless of script, regardless of this is what he said. He said, "I'm not going to insult your intelligence. I'm just going to just go to the back." And my program is $2,000. I'm not going to do that weird stack thing. Everyone does. That's dumb. Just go to the back. Thank you very much. I'm done. And nobody moved. No one moved. It was so never do it again. Well, years later, he decided he would try again, and he's like, "I'm just going to be this shy internet guy and hide behind a computer." So he went and decided to do it again, and he went and just had something hit my mind. I should show you guys. He had he started doing more stage pitching, and I can't remember who it was. But he's walking off stage. He had done okay. He sees this guy, and he's got this gigantic stack of order forms. people on this stuff is not, it's no longer a question like I've said before of, how do I build this? How do I build this funnel? I don't know how to do this. There's not enough tools available anymore. I don't know how to put this on this page or here. It's no longer an issue is not how do I, it is do you freaking believe me? Okay? So you get, anyway, and half of you guys, I know I'm preaching the choir, half of you guys have never been through this stuff before. And after bringing 1,600 people through it, I know what your false beliefs are. I know exactly what your sticking points will be, and I know exactly very seriously. It's why it's on my freaking wall, okay? I have 5 webinars of Russell. I ripped the audio of them, and I have them in a massive track. It's 12 hours long of me just listening to Russell pitch. And you think, wait a second, you sat next to the dude. Done my inflections on the end of it, right? Right, all of it. Guys, it is a freaking masterpiece. And the perfect webinar script, we are so freaking passionate about this because this is the result of Russell being critiqued to death by a lot of yesteryear's marketers. Okay? Okay? And he would go do a stage pitch and some giant would be in the room and they'd spend tons of time with him just wrecking his pitch and rebuilding it. Then he'd keep doing it, and then suddenly the next day I'd be like, hey, guys, there's one of these things. Billy said almost like trial closes. It is trial closes. That's exactly what those are. You're student with your inflections. Um, I had everyone put their arm out at like a 45-degree angle. So feel free to do the same if you'd like to. It's a 45-degree angle. Just kind of angled down a little bit, and then this actually it's arm out just a little bit like this. Okay, this is a serious moment, and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna bend at the elbow. Okay, the form of it is important, but this is the way to get around it. You're gonna bend at the elbow and pull that arm right back up like this. Yeah, just a little bit further. Okay, as you do that, kind of stick your head forward. And we don't know is that as I've been speaking to you, Colton has actually gone to every location in the world you guys are right now and placed the most right now for this auto webinar that we're putting together, and you guys have been watching me put together, okay, um, is because of this, okay? There's a thing here called the 7 phases of the funnel, right? And you guys know, first time I read this book, I was laying with my M16 in a security line for several days, and when I read this blew me away, okay? There were a lot of guys that were teaching parts of this, or you know, one aspect of it, but like the full thing, this is the first time I'd ever seen it before, okay? So I'm going to go through the 7 phases of the funnel real quick, and specifically want you to know why. You got a month to make $1 million and to get me $1 million. I would write a webinar. Okay, seriously, it's that powerful, and that's why I'm so obsessed about it. Because for years, reading books and I got books all over the place, taking tons of courses, going to all these things. It wasn't until this when suddenly everything I saw, all the scripts that come together, the marketing, the offer, the places in the funnel works, and I was like, whoa, that's why he has everyone do it so much. So I decided I'm going to be a webinar master, right? And I'm excited. Gotten good enough that when Russell can't go to someone, you got to figure out the traffic temperature. Okay, traffic temperature. Now, I typically like to do webinars, not just webinars. Any funnel, I always start selling with hot traffic, meaning who is on my list already. The tendency is for people to step back and be like, you know what? I'm going to start with Facebook ads. I'm not telling you now. I'm going to walk through that a little bit and the way we write headlines a little bit. Next thing on here is we're going to qualify subscribers. If someone's not willing to give me their email address, they're not going to give me their credit card. Okay, so I'm going to see, we're starting with micro commitments. This is micro engagement. Next thing right here is we're going to qualify the actual purchaser themselves. And that can happen with small money. And when people read this book, they assumed that's what it meant. But it's not the first funnel. I don't go build a low ticket funnel first if I'm going to start a new business. I start a mid-range product and I see what script is powerful enough that they will purchase from me at that mid-level range. All right. Then I have the cash flow. I got the there says change the selling environment. Okay. Webinars themselves is a selling environment. We include webinars in what we call it's an event type funnel. Okay, meaning you make it feel like an event. You make it feel like an event, and with the event, if it doesn't feel like an event, your sales plummet. Meaning for them, when they're even if it's evergreen, they need to feel like it's an event. You break it down. Hey, thanks, guys. Alrighty. Haven't converted on a live webinar yet. That's fine. Eager to make it happen for my high ticket stuff. Did you guys sell the lives? Did you guys selling the lives? Demetrios, I'm not sure what you're asking, man. I'm sorry. The most fun you'll ever have in your entire... Gus said that funnel hacking live is the most fun you could have with your clothes on. Those price ranges in. If I'm going to go $5,000 and up, usually I'm going to do something like an application funnel or a coaching funnel. But I will need awesome case studies that I've already gone through. Look, I was able to help this guy, right? And I tell that person's story. That's what makes that one work. Usually from, you know, $5 to $6.97. Usually like a free plus shipping or tripwired style funnel. Boom, boom, boom. Webinar. I just want to master it 100%. Listen to a ton of them. He repeats the same stuff. Sorry, Demetrios, not sure what you're saying. So actually, you did environmental exposure. Brother, I'm sorry. I need a little more deets. It's freaking amazing. Almost like straight line selling. Yeah. Knew this coming. So true though. You mean live webinar? Yeah. Any kind of webinar. Get that belief out of your face, Stephen Larson. Billy. The End of Expert Secrets also shows how he did it on Facebook Live. It's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. What happened to Russell finally at that stage? What happened to him? You'll see me do soon, and it's in the works. Yeah. Let's see. You break it down to feel like it's live. I mean, when you're recording the live, you sell it as training or something. total in the beginning. Oh, price marinade. Yeah, it's a different strategy. I'm not gonna teach you that one. It's kind of like it's like advanced strategy, and you got to know your offer is incredible before you kind of go to that. Anyway, so that's like phase 2 that we'll typically do something like that. So yeah. Anyway, all right, guys, let's go ahead and jump on in here. Now, the first thing I'm gonna go do is what this first session of right now. I'm gonna show you guys the framework and what we need to fill out, and then we'll take a little break, and then I'm going to go grab a whole bunch of assets. We'll take a little break, and then I'm going to go take it and put it into PowerPoint, and you'll see me go back and forth between my script, between a whole bunch of other people's scripts, like grabbing the best of the best of the best. The thing that screws people up a lot when they do this stuff is that they think they need to write a sales script, write a perfect sales script, a perfect webinar script. You're not really doing that. You're assembling a script. And you think of it that way, it helps a lot. Okay, this is everything I've been doing so far, right? From designing the marketing, right? Laying out the funnel, building the funnel, even this piece is very formulated. People just don't take enough time. They don't stay in the game long enough to learn the game, right? So just stay in the game. and yes, it seems kind of big, and no one ever talks about it. You're not going to receive about it, just like Gus was saying. You're not going to ever see this in any kind of. There's no school that teaches this. There's like a few books and then a few courses we have that teach this, right? And so, anyway, so if this seems completely foreign, like, it makes sense that it does, okay? So just take the time to learn it. Don't stress out about it, and this is going to be, honestly, a ton of fun. I don't know how long this is going to be. My hope is that we finish it all today. I really don't know, though, okay? Environmental exposure, I meant. Your exposure to Russell's sales skills pitch. There is saying that says, tell me your friend to tell you who you are. You're saying, I certainly have had a lot of environmental exposure to Russell for sure, 100%, absolutely. I am all in with you, Steven. Sweet, sounds good, Brent. Alrighty, guys, 67 of us on. This is awesome, guys. All right, so real quick, the first time I started learning this framework was in this notebook, okay? Down all this stuff, like that. This is ridiculous, right? And all my notes from the first courses I ever took from him. I mean, this is freaking. Anyway, it's gold. It took me 3 months to write these notes, and I'd stay up till 3 a.m. every day, and I might do that though. I mean, it's pretty intense. Look at that. This is the perfect webinar script. This is me learning the script for the first time. All right, the same thing that you guys are showing out. I didn't know he had this. I was just seeing it from other places. Like, that's nuts. Isn't that crazy? 37 for the notes. Oh man, it's gonna be more than that. Um, anyway, it's crazy, guys. Look at this. This is the first time I was learning like this. Other than this, okay, we have expanded, exploded, seen what works better. Like what I showed you guys 2 days ago was like that's like version 100.0. Anyway, this perfect product launch script, visible funnel scripts. I mean, check these things out, guys. A lot of these things you guys you see in a lot of his other courses now. Star Source Solutions script. I'm a geek, proud of it. 7 phases of a funnel. He used to call this the anyway, I think this is where it ends. There's only a few pages left in this thing. Yeah. Anyway, crazy, crazy. Crazy stuff right there. So anyways, what I want to show you guys is just, it's a format. This is proven. This is not something that's coming off the top of my head. I'm going to share my screen now. We're going to start walking through this. There are 5 phases of a webinar, okay? And we're going to start walking through this here. Freaking awesome. Photocopy and sell it. You found gold cleaning your office. I did. So these webinars were in early stages of development. That's why they were smaller. No. It's just I tend to go deep, so you guys are going to see a really expanded version. That's what's going on. How do you pull off Secret 1? How do you pull off Secret 2? How do you pull off, right? This is like the 50,000 foot view of it. So, no, the perfect webinar script has not changed. The perfect, like the webinar funnel, that kind of stuff has changed. But people think the funnel is the script, and that's what, anyway. Advisable to do a webinar and convert them as sales page for your copy. You could, but everything that you're doing inside of the webinar is the sales copy. So I send them straight to an order form. Anyway, we kind of went over that last time. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Hopefully I'm Alrighty. Hey, what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I'm actually going to open up, I'm going to open up a few things here, okay? And the first thing I want to do is show you the framework, and we're going to walk through it here, and I'm actually going to pull up my slides and a few other things as well. uh, uh, Thanks again. You got a new name for me, Demetrius? cool would it be if I provide this format? This Google Sheet, that'd be cool. You guys like that? It's okay if we over-deliver? The only reason I'm asking is because I know someone, because everyone does this, you guys are going to type in that URL and try and go to this. It's not shared with you, so you're not going to have access anyway. What if I just do that? Nice. Okay. Okay, so let me go in here, and these are the assets. Okay, these are things we have to actually collect. And for me to go through and walk through this, I'm actually going to grab a few separate things. First, we will walk through aspects in the Expert Secrets book, and then a few other areas as well. You can't put everything in the book, right? So let me... Okay. Let me grab some pictures. Anyone want some of the original drafts? Just kidding, I'm not going to get that. Read this book, build a webinar, and get some cash for it. I got a friend who's a painter, right? And I don't know if I can make any money on this. It's like, are you kidding? You're a painter. Make a course about how to paint, right? Anyway, what he said was, you guys don't know how good you are. And so they said, what we need you to start doing is start to look inwards to see what your process actually is, so that you know how to teach this to people in the future, and you can actually be a good coach and a good mentor for the new guy. And when they say, how did you do this? Don't just say, well, you just do X, Y, and Z. Dive into it. Why? Okay, the fastest way I can think of to make your progression in anything speed up, okay, is this. Learn for 2. Okay, and that's my rule. Every time I learn anything, it's for 2. Meaning, I'm not just learning it for myself. I'm learning it for you guys as well. How will I teach this on a podcast? How will I teach this on stage? Where does this fit into the framework, all this stuff that is already inside my head? It's a giant framework. There's this script mixed with that script, mixed with these funnel types, mixed with this piece over this massive framework. Now, these webinars, all these scripts, all these things he had done in the past, and there was a pattern that he did not do intentionally that every one of them had. Secret 1 was vehicle based. Secret 2 was internal based. Secret 3 was external based, right? Secret 1, 2, 3, right? And they weren't separate topics. They all supported the main idea of the webinar. And anyway, lots of little things like that. Doing things in the beginning, right? Like there's intro and rapport, right? Bold hook and promise totally makes sense, right? Hook to the end, meh. That's an art thing, not a science thing. Okay, there's parts of I'm going to teach you guys the science of it, and I'll throw in some little art things on my own, meaning the things that are fun that I like to do that are artist choice. Right, command attention. I mean, sure, you kind of do that with a hook to the end, right? Qualifying yourself, you kind of do that as well. Like crazy. Who has the biggest cheese? That's what I say all the time. Sausage number 1, baby. Where are they? Who has like the biggest pile of cash? If that's what I'm trying to learn, I want to learn how to make money. You don't learn that in school. Who knows how to make money? That's its own study. Bam! Look at Russell. Sweet. I'm going to learn from that guy. Right? That's one of the reasons I did. That's one of the reasons why I put aside tons of other gurus, and I really only studied 2 or 3. That's it. I know there's great people out there. I know there's awesome stuff, but if I just go deep with the big cheeses, right? Sausage number 1, right? Then I'm gonna shortcut decades of life if I learned the process that they came up with, because they've done it so long. They're like, you know what? Yeah, you could study that, you can study that, you can study that. But if I just learn the process from that guy, because he came up with his own process, he's been doing it long enough, right? Russell did this because he's been doing it long enough He knows the patterns. He's obsessed enough. He knows the patterns. So shortcut tons of guys. It's the reason why, like, I know I'll go study deep with other guys like Dan Kennedy, Chet Holmes, right? Armin Morin. I know I will at some point, but Russell has studied them to such a depth, right? Those are really like his three. Does that make sense? Such a depth. He's really aggregated tons of info. That's why you go find the big cheese, sausage number one. The guy's been doing it forever. Not the guy just a little bit ahead of you, right? Go find the crazy, the nutcase, the funnel freak, who, you know, if that's what you're trying to learn funnels. Go find that guy, right? And you learn everything they're doing for two, which is why I publish and podcast so often, which ties into the second one. Get a coach. I was like, Russell, I know this is weird, man. I just left your company, but can I join your inner circle? Full price. Do not let me in for free. And he said, okay. So I went in, right? Because I'm trying to stay connected, right? Then I went and joined Alex Sharfin's stuff. And his stuff is just 48 grand, okay? It's expensive. Those two guys, those are the guys I plug into right now. And I learn from, like, all the time. That and Grant Cardone. Okay, those are kind of my three right now. Learn marketing, learn systems, and learn sales. Those are like the three. I don't really care about anything else. I don't care about SEO. It's great if that's your thing. Awesome. I don't care about it. I outsource it, right? I don't care about Facebook ads. That's great if it's your thing, right? So anyway, I was trying to say is, like, when it comes to learning stuff, put blinders on. Stop learning all over the place, anything that you want. Learn with intent, meaning you got to stop learning. If you're like, I'm going to learn SEO. Why? If you don't need it, stop learning it, right? 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 I don't know it. Someone else does. That's their thing. That's what they're trying to be, the best in the world at that. That's awesome. Then go get that guy, right? So I was like, I want to go find someone as obsessed as I can about ads, Facebook ads, as I am about funnels. Who has made it their, like, life, right? I want to go for that person. And when you get blinders on, put everything down, stop learning, staying in these learning cycles, and all you do is learn for the next step in front of you, right? Suddenly, and you do it with the attitude of, I'm going to learn for two. Everything that I do, I'm going to learn it so I can place my next step in my move in my business correctly, and I'm going to learn it so that I can teach it. That's a deeper level of learning. It's the reason why it takes me like a month to get through a book. I don't care. It's because I'm learning for two. I'm learning it in a way where it plugs into the framework that's sitting inside my head of what makes these scripts, plugged in with the funnels, plugged in with the designing the marketing, plugged in with what traffic works well, plugged in with what upsells go well with that one, right? It's this massive framework, and every time I learn something, right, like I just listened to this book, Blue Ocean Strategy. It was awesome. But I listened to it with the intent, how do I go back to the framework sitting in my brain about how to design marketing and tweak it? And that's why I learn it, okay? That's how I learn, okay? Put the blinders on. Stop learning everything just because, okay? And only learn. In my mind, you got time in your life to get good at one thing. I mean really good. And get known, right? It's not normal for people to go get really known for two or even three things. You're going to get known and, like, obsess for one thing, okay? Put blinders on. Stop learning generally. Learn with intent. And when you do it, learn for two. And then number two, get a coach. I mean a personal coach. Not just like, oh, I listened to that guy's podcast. That's not a coach. I mean, go hire an actual coach. Get money out of your wallet and go pay the person cash to be a coach. Okay, and then number two, right? The second part of that is be a coach. Okay, that is you applying learning for two. That's actually how you know what to say. It's how I always know what to say in Sales Funnel Radio. Okay, is because I'm learning for two, and I'm like, that was freaking awesome. That plugs into the framework in my noggin, in my brain. Here and here and here and here and here and here and here. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. People need to know that. Podcast, bam, camera goes on and we teach it and we publish it. Okay. Someone asked me once, like, what are you gonna say on episode, We need a title slide. Just because I don't want to go back and re-edit this, we will. Okay, title slide. And what we're doing is this first part here is a webinar intro. The people that make mistakes a lot of time in this, what they do is they intro themselves. No one cares about you yet. You still got to do that, but the first thing you're doing is introing the webinar. There's 2 intros in the intro section. Intro for the webinar and then intro for you. Okay, so we're going to do a title slide. Okay. I typically like to do some kind of like let me show you guys my current webinar. It converts well. Every time I do a live, we do like 15, 17% conversion. I've even done up to 22. It's been a record for me. Anyway. And converting around 80%. I mean, that's a good auto webinar. That's exciting. Works super well. Okay. So we say, who is this for? Okay. Then after that, let me shrink this up too so I don't go back and forth so often. You guys liking this so far? No one's ever done this. This is my current webinar. Ah, baby. Okay, then we go into my goal for this web class. And this is a very special key slide, okay? And the goal for the web class. The thing about the way headlines are written inside of, especially webinars, but any copy, you should be able to read the headlines or subheadlines without reading any other copy, and it should still make sense, okay? Why when we know that a webinar is doing well or any sales video, we will go back and we will caption the entire video. It's a huge pain in the butt. Anyway, okay, my goal for this web class. Now, some things are not mine to show you, meaning I would pull up Funnel Builder Secrets and a whole bunch of other stuff that I've got, and slides for all these other webinars, but it's not mine to show you, so I'm not going to. It's out of respect. But know that I model mine. I literally took Russell's webinars. After I did the first initial write down, I took Russell's webinars and mine and slide by slide, okay, compared. Then I went to another training of his, slide by slide, slide by slide, slide by slide. Once you actually get the script out, which is the hardest part, like tweaking it is the next highest leverage thing you could ever go do. And just learning how to tweak and adjust. And so those of you guys who have done like the initial brain dump on actually how to go do this thing, right? Congrats. Okay, that's a huge, very painful first step. I know it's painful. Okay, it sucks. It's not easy. Anyway, so let's go ahead here. And so again, what we're doing here, I see a lot of you guys jumping on. We have 71 of us on here now, which is awesome. But we have we are grabbing. These are all the things that you need to make the intro section, to make the secret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Those are the things that make these steps. Now I'm just I'm outlining the assets we're going to go collect and what I need to put inside this. And since session 1 was about designing your marketing, a lot of the stuff has already been figured out. It's the reason I do it, number 1. Most of the time people just come right into script writing if they're going to do a webinar, right? Or they'll go build the webinar funnel. Those are both the wrong steps. First thing to do is design the marketing like we did in session 1. And you'll see me plug and play those assets into the script itself, okay? So anyways, again, I've modeled a lot of what I have done over here, which is it's converting extremely well from Russell's high converting webinars. So again, I can't show you those webinars. Hope you guys understand that. They're not mine to show, but these are very similar. So okay, so we've introed the webinar. We've done a title slide, which is kind of hook to end. I like to do a warning thing / command attention. A lot of times I'll do that in the script itself. I do an earnings disclaimer, kind of legally have to anyways, but you see the way we write them is actually a mini sales pitch. And just to sink it in, we'll do a testimonial right from the beginning. Then we'll also let them know who this is for and who it's not for, okay? Then the goal for the web class, we'll show you guys how to do that. This is very key, very key. This is the ruler that your entire webinar gets judged by. So anyways, we'll walk through that as well. And if you guys have the book Expert Secrets, I recommend opening it up right now. I want to share with you guys how... anyways, we'll go page by page here, and I'll show you guys how to put this together. Got the one thing. Okay. Check it out. Title slide. Very first thing it says to make. Title slide. This is on page 157. Alrighty. Just to make sure, right? So there's 2 intros, right? Title slide. Now let's go to the next page. Intro / rapport. Now I do intro / rapport kind of in this section right here. Intro / rapport. Next page, goal. It's inclusive and inclusive. That is where we do this who's this for thing, okay? And my goal for this web class. Goal for this web class is an inclusive and inclusive thing. We'll get to that in a little bit here. That's the ruler again. The big domino. Big domino, again, that's actually very similar to this one. I kind of combine a few of these pieces. Qualify yourself. Now this is where the second intro happens, okay? This is going to be the you intro. Anyway, before we move on here, we got like 40 comments. Let me go here and I'm going to drop on in, and we'll keep moving on. Hopefully this has been helpful so far already. This is going to be long. Just letting you guys know. But helpful though. Okay. Let me get back to the chat.